So I just realized in my last video, when I got done making the video, that actually I'm speaking a little quieter because I think I'm going to keep my neighbors up because all the windows are open in their apartments in my apartment, and I don't want to wake them up. So I'm going to talk a little quieter, and I hope my fan isn't too loud. It has to blow on my computer or my computer will shut down because it gets too hot. Anyway, I realized that the three treasures are actually the same as the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost, which is the Trinity in the Bible, and is the same as the three founding principles of access consciousness, which is energy, space, and consciousness, which is the same exact thing as the first three factors of the 10 factors of life in the 14th chapter? No, 16th chapter. No, it's not. I forget what chapter. Second chapter. Hoben chapter. The Hoben chapter of the Lotus Sutra, the 10 factors of life, appearance, nature, entity, and so on and so forth. The first three of those factors, which I just said, are the same as the Sangha, the Dharma, and the Buddha. So, just because I realize that now, I have to wake back up and tell you what that meant, what that means. Okay, so I just told you that the first treasure is the law, or consciousness. In access consciousness, they just call it consciousness, but it's the awakened state of life, which if you're awakened to, you'd be called the awakened one, which is Buddha. So in Christianity, which was a bastardization of the ancient Kabbalah and the ancient teachings, that there's a book that Manly Hall, I forget his full name, Manly something Hall, which is the Secret Teachings of All Times. He talked about how the ancient teachings in all the ancient cultures had the three factors of life, which he called the sunrise, the nadir, and the sunset, which in Christianity became the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, which in Buddhism became appearance, nature, and entity, or some other. Oh no, it's nature. Nature is the sunrise. Over this way, sunrise is the nature, or the first, the creator being, the Father, which is consciousness, which is the nature of reality. Or it could be the true aspect of all phenomena, which is the third factor. Anyway, you can kind of spin it any way you like to spin it. But anyway, that's the creator being. So this oneness of all onenesses that you truly be from time without beginning, that is Myoho Renge-kyo, which is the law of life, is the creator of your constant forward-moving progression called reality that you project onto the screen of life called realness, or whatever you want to call it, and all the causal incarcerations you choose to make more real than who you truly be. But anyway, that's a whole long story. So that's the Father, that's the creator, that's the true entity of all phenomena, which is the law, which is the first of the treasures. Now, who's the full manifestation in physical form? That's the appearance in the three factors of life, or in the three treasures, it's the Buddha, because you awaken to this Father energy, or this creation energy, which is your consciousness, and you become fully awakened, you fully actualize, immaculately conceived as the awakened being from time without beginning you truly be, which is the Yeshua and the Jesus energy of the infiniteness of Buddha, of absolute freedom that you always been and you always will be, that you finally woke up to, so you finally are not sleepwalking. Okay, so then the sunset, which is the Holy Ghost, which is the nature. Did I say that wrong? Yeah, the nature of reality. It's the nature of the stuff you can't see. It's the invisible that you know is there because you have thoughts, feelings, and emotions. You know you perceive things. You know you receive energy, and you give off energy. You know all that's true, and you know that you know, which is in and of itself pure wisdom, self-actualized, or the eighth world in Buddhism, which is realization. It is the awakening to who you truly be as the realized being from time without beginning of Buddha, or Jesus, or whatever you want to call it. They called it nadir. The sun is in its full actualization when it's in the middle of the sky at noon. And then it goes into sunset, which it becomes the Holy Ghost, which is that part of reality you can't see, which is... So how does this relate to the three treasures? So I said the first treasure is the Father awakening the consciousness, which is the law. The second one is the actualization of law, which is the Buddha, which is you when you wake up to the fact that you are the Buddha, you are the awakened one, you are the chosen one that you've always been waiting for to save you. You don't need something outside yourself. Okay, which is what Jesus said when he said the kingdom of heaven is in the heart of men and women. They translate it as men, but anyway, what it was really back in the days, who knows, because I don't speak that language anymore. I spoke it before, but I kind of forgot. It's been a long time. Okay, so why is the Sangha the Holy Ghost or the nature? Because in Buddhism and all other religions, the reason why they have proselytization, which is spreading the religion. No religion can function without spreading. And anyone who says, "Oh, my religion doesn't focus on proselytization," which is the creating of a sangha, which is, in order to practice any religion, you have to practice for yourself and practice for others. You can't just do it in isolation. You can't go up on a mountain and go, "Okay, now I found my trueness and I don't have to deal with any people anymore." No. In order for you to self-actualize the truth of any teaching, you have to teach it to someone else, and they have to teach it back to you through their example, and you have to teach it, because that's the oneness of mentor and disciple. And in order for the oneness of the mentor and the disciple to be oneness, the disciples have to also mentor more disciples and more disciples and more disciples, and none of the disciples cannot be mentors, otherwise the oneness of mentor and disciple wouldn't exist in any religion, which it does exist if any religion's worthy of the name religion, which some don't quite live up to. But anyway, so you see finally how that makes sense. The Sangha is the community of believers, which is the nature of reality, which is in access consciousness, appearance, nature, and entity. That's not it. It's a energy, space, and consciousness. So energy is the nature of reality, or the Holy Ghost, or the Sangha, which is why when you have a Sangha, you can have 3 people, and it actually, if they're working in unison as the oneness of mentor and disciple, they actually can create what 20 people can create, because it's in Buddhism we call it Itai Doshin, and I totally forget what the English translation of that, so go look it up. Itai Doshin is many in body, one in mind. There you go. Mind not being the peanut head up here, it's the mind, which is a heart under the rice field, which is actually the chi energy from the center of your chest, which is the true awakening energy of knowing instead of thinking, which thinking is that trying to know, but you don't really know because you're just contemplating all the possibilities and regurgitating the past of everything you've ever experienced, and you're like trying to figure it out, and you're like, that's not knowing, that's fucking mental masturbation, which is what the first 40 years of Buddhist teachings taught, until they finally wanted to teach the truth teaching, which was the Buddha of time without beginning, that you all truly be, which is the Lotus Sutra. Anyway, that's all I have to say tonight. I better go to bed. I drank a little too much coffee. My coworker bought me a big old frappa frickin' chino and put all kinds of extra shots in it, and I'm supposed to go to bed a long time ago. It's almost 12 o'clock. I need to wake up before I go to work and clean my clothes, so I'm going to bed. I love you all. Peace out.